How are you today? So it's a wet, damp day here in Limerick in Ireland, and I'm taking a very slow walk, more of a wander actually. I'm coming off the tracks and wandering through areas and then back on the track, coming off again. No real purpose really of getting anywhere, no time constraint. Just wandering through nature and taking in all the colours and the foliage and the dampness, the wet, the cold. It's not too bad. It's eased up. And when you're in under the canopy anyway. That is a bit bare, but yes, there is some bit of protection. So we're going to head towards the water in the river to do a practice about coming back to the body, back to the breath, coming out of the mind. So I know the mind is quite busy at the moment, myself included, everyone. Worrying and anxiety and stress about what's happening. And if we stay there, we stay in that place, all these stories start playing out, don't they? What will happen? We're forecasting the future. Why did it happen? Blaming others. Whereas really we need to come back to ourselves. And coming back to ourselves, you've heard it, you hear about deep breathing, about doing your yoga or Tai Chi, or maybe it's running, going for a walk. But it's actually to do it in a real conscious way. So when you think about when you're in a pose or you're here walking like this, you could actually be just doing the pose, doing the movement. I could be walking along here, but my mind is full, you know? But what I want to do is be here, feel my feet on the ground as I walk along, and even feel my feet in my socks, in my walking shoes, feel the underfoot, you know, feel the stones, the gravel, the forest floor. This is where I'm walking at the moment. And like this, there's four actually. I've always noticed three. The one there in the end is leaning out a bit. And notice like the moss on the bottom of the tree, the ivy. Taking notice of what's behind it and how far it goes back. And all the layers of trees, all the branches, the stones. And seeing right out to the light at the back of them trees. And that's this consciousness, this conscious decision of what I'm focusing on. It's mindfulness, consciousness. And consciousness is really being conscious, you know, about our thoughts, our feelings and our emotions, and allowing ourselves to feel those emotions, you know, at the moment. Allow the body to feel it, rather than tensing, which is like, if the muscles tense in the shoulders, carrying the weight of the world on our shoulders up here, up around the ears, relaxing those shoulders down. Because we are going to feel, we are going to have moments, we're going to be maybe angry, lashing out, or somebody says something and it totally triggers us. We keep coming back to this body, coming back to the breath, being conscious of where you're even sitting, what you're listening to. Be very conscious of what you're listening to and what you're reading. Our cells have memories. I remember that. Miriam Cairns Hussey gave a talk in Limerick. It was a networking event one time. Just a couple of years ago. Morning, how are you? And morning. She was talking about how the cells have ears. It has always stuck with me. When I think about our cells having ears, and you think, right, the cells have ears, they hear my thoughts. And we know that thoughts aren't always true. We don't know them to be true. It's like that inner critic that comes along and goes, what are you doing that for? What's that about? Or it could be like, fixing my hair, fixing my hat, how do I look? There's no need to be doing that or this, or, stopping you from taking that first step. And really the first step in these times is yourself. When you place your feet on the ground when you get up in the morning. You're awake, your feet are on the ground. You take a deep breath, maybe even 3. And another friend, Sharon, she was sharing with me, Sharon Ennis, about placing which I love. I teach this all the time. It's a very simple practice of placing your right hand in your belly and your left hand on your heart to come back to the body and the breath. It's like a homecoming. You're at the heart, you're at your navel. These are what we have to do for ourselves. And if we can't do it for ourselves, we're not going to be able to do it for others. So you have to start with ourselves always. Start with ourselves. Be true to ourselves. God, I'm quoting loads this morning. There's Katie Byron. Katie, I think maybe it is. I'll put it, I might have to fix that, but I remember reading her book. It was gifted to me, and by a life coach that I was going to, and he's all about speaking your truth and standing in your truth. There's like some key questions, but this one has always said to me, what is truth? Is that true, that thought you have? Do you know it to be true? How does it feel in your body? So I always ask, if I ask my body, I'm not asking the outside world, I'm not asking my mind, because we know the mind doesn't necessarily hold truth. Really feeling into the body. Is that true for me? And that feeling, you get a gut feeling, or you might feel, it feels a bit icky, or it feels, it feels good. Or when you get excited, you're like, woohoo! Yep. So what and how do you listen to your body? Ask yourself that, notice that. What do you do to listen to your body? To listen to yourself? to listen to your own truth. Right, we'll make our way towards the water, the river. I'll give you another look. Here I am. That's the path. That's the path we're going down. I'll just show you. We're going to take a shortcut. These gorgeous ferns. So I know some of you love the ferns. There's just science behind the benefits of having ferns in your garden. And we know little people, the fairy folk, live amongst the ferns. Yeah. Just being careful. I don't need to take a fall. This thing about shortcuts, isn't it? You never know. So if you like, you can take this walk with me. Maybe that's what you'd like to do. So you just stand for a moment. I'll stand. Hear the sounds. Feel into the environment. Feel your feet planted on the ground. And what do you smell? Using your imagination. What do you see for you? We start at the ground. We look out. We look up. We turn around. And what do you hear? And do you see the small movement? The branches moving, or the leaves waving. Maybe you'd like to ask a question from nature as we take this walk to the river. You can place your hand on your heart. Place your left hand on your heart. Maybe both hands on your heart. You ask the question. So yes, I hope you've enjoyed that wander. And when you do, and if you do get a chance to go out in nature and to take a wander, a walking with no purpose, placing your hands on your heart and asking a question, nature will answer. You can ask, what's your soul's desire? So if you enjoyed this reflection, this walk in nature, and you'd love to leave a tip, my link is in the bio below. So I will see you all again very soon. Take care. Bye bye. So yes, I hope you've enjoyed that wander. And when you do, and if you do get a chance to go out in nature and to take a wander, a walking with no purpose, placing your hands on your heart and asking a question, nature will answer. You can ask, what's your soul's desire? So if you enjoyed this reflection, this walk in nature, and you'd love to leave a tip, my link is in the bio below. So I will see you all again very soon. Take care. Bye bye. I was waiting there for an excellent, but we're all good. Very steady on her legs.